Let's make some Cajun shrimp pasta. It's MK Davis. Go ahead and subscribe and let's get it. First things first, let's go ahead and take the tails and the skin off of the shrimp. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get a pot full of water so that we can boil it for the pasta. I probably should have used a bigger pot, but this one worked fine. For the shrimp, I went ahead and used some olive oil just so that these seasonings will stick a little bit better. If you don't want to do that, don't do it, but that's my preference and that's what I wanted to do. The first seasoning that I used is black pepper. I just think that it puts a really nice flavor on there. It's not spicy or nothing. It just, to me, that's what tastes good. Then we're gonna use cayenne pepper because, girl, you know I like that spice, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna use some cayenne pepper just for some spice, and then some smoked paprika, because that to me gives it a really good flavor, using smoked paprika. You can use plain paprika if you want to, but the smoked is what really packs it. Then last but not least, the New Orleans Cajun seasoning. And girl, I put a lot. Like, you think you put a lot, and then you put some more. And then a little bit more. That's how much I put. I put a lot. Because, girl, I love seasoning my food. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix it with my bare hands. If you want to mix it with a spoon or a spatula, go right ahead. But to me, mixing it with your bare hands just really makes the flavor all over the shrimp so that it's mixed together really well. And to me, that's the best option. Now, since my water is boiled, I'm gonna go ahead and put that pasta in there. I use this spiral pasta. You can use fettuccine, elbows, you can use penne, whatever. But this worked out for me because this is what I had in my pantry already. And you wanna mix it too because you don't want them to stick together. For the sauce, I use heavy whipping cream. I really don't know how much I put. I just poured that full bottle in there. A recipe for like Alfredo or whatever calls for 2 cups. I don't know how much was in there. Then you're gonna use 2 tablespoons of flour. I ended up going back and putting 4 later on instead of 2, and it was too much. So I would put probably 3 tablespoons, and that should be a good amount because to me 2 was not enough. Next, we're gonna put in that butter, and then I also had some minced garlic that I minced myself. I used 2 cloves of garlic and a full cup of butter. I probably should have melted it first, but it worked out fine. And you could also use tub as well, but I used the cubes. You wanna make sure that you're still stirring everything. So whether that's stirring the shrimp, stirring the pasta, you wanna keep stirring everything to make sure that the shrimp is fully cooked and so the pasta does not stick. I went ahead and took the pasta off the burner and separated it into 2 bowls just so that it doesn't burn in the pot. You want to make sure you're still stirring the shrimp because you don't want it to burn, and you want to make sure that it cooks all the way through. So you want to check on each individual piece, just make sure that they're still cooking evenly. Now you can tell that the sauce is a little bit thick. That's because I had gone in, like I told you guys, and added some extra flour. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the Parmesan, and make sure you keep whisking it and keep whisking it, just because if you don't whisk, it's not gonna be a good consistency. Now, because I had added too much of the flour, I went ahead and put in some milk just so that the consistency is a little thinner. So I recommend 3 tablespoons of flour instead of 4, because 2 was not enough but 4 was too much. So I added some more milk just to help that consistency, and you want to keep whisking it, keep whisking it. The first thing I'm gonna do to flavor it is put some salt. I like to grind my own salt just because, I don't know, I feel like that works the consistency of the salt better. And I put quite a bit of salt just because I never think that Alfredo sauce or penne sauce has enough salt in it, in my opinion. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and use some black pepper because I love that flavoring in it. Black pepper always brings a good little kick to it. Next, we're gonna use some Italian seasoning. This is gonna make the pasta have such good, vibrant flavor. And to me, that's like the main flavor of the pasta is the Italian seasoning. Put a lot too. I also use onion powder. Not very many people do, but I just put a good little dash in there. I think it helps with the flavor in my opinion. Then we're gonna use some basil. That goes well with the Italian seasoning, and like I said, that's like the main part of the whole flavor. I'm also gonna use some oregano and make a mess just like I did. I made a whole mess, but it's okay. Use some oregano and that flavors it really well. And then last but not least, I use regular paprika, not smoked. Smoked is for the shrimp. We're gonna put regular in this pasta. Go ahead and whisk it really good because you want that flavor really good in there, and then whisking it really helps with that consistency. Keep whisking and keep whisking. Once you add in the pasta, it is finished. You just want to make sure that you mix it really well. I separated it into 2 bowls, so I poured it in twice, and you want to mix it really well. Just don't mix it with the whisk like I did. Use a spatula, please. You want to make sure that it is well mixed though, so mix the sauce really well in there, and then you can pour the shrimp. Once the shrimp is poured in, you're done.